Free State police are monitoring the situation outside Petrusburg in the Free State, where residents barricaded the N8 linking Bloemfontein and Kimberley since early this morning. They used bricks, burning tyres and rubble to block the national road. Motorists and trucks were stranded for hours before police intervened and cleared the road. Police have also arrested several people for public violence. Angry residents of Bolokanang are complaining that they still have to use pit toilets and struggle to access running water. So let's stay in the Free State and go to this story that has been doing the rounds for quite some time, in fact, a couple of days now. Will Free State Premier Sisi Ntombela face the axe? Speculation has been rife that the provincial PSC has resolved to remove her, but the ANC in the province is yet to confirm this. Let's speak now to Free State Provincial Secretary Polediso Motsoeneng. Thank you so much for your time this afternoon. I remember we spoke just after you were, elected as the provincial secretary in the Free State. And one of the burning questions, of course, was that whether or not there will be two centers of power in the Free State. And now we're seeing in the past 2 days suggestions that the current premier is facing the axe. Is it true?
This opportunity to greet the listeners and viewers.
Polediso, I'm going to Polediso, if you can hear me. Polediso, if you can hear me, I'm not sure about your line. Please, let's try again. Your line is cutting up a little bit.
Yes, one of the issues that we have to respond to is strengthening the institution, and as a result, we took a decision as the newly elected provincial structure to look into how we can reinforce service delivery to be delivered to our people. And as a result, during the past 2 days, when there was a meeting of the provincial structure, there was a decision that was taken by the Provincial Executive Committee to reconfigure the provincial government. And by so doing, it will then affect individuals. In particular, we have taken the decision that we will recall the premier, and that because the ANC is a process-based organization, will still have to be communicated with national office. After that interaction with national office, will then be able to effect the changes that we wanted to do in the provincial government.
So, because your line was breaking up a little bit, I'm going to ask this question again. So, you have resolved that the premier must be recalled?
Indeed, the Provincial Executive Committee has considered that based on the analysis that we have made. And we came to a determination that we would reconfigure our provincial government, and ultimately the premier would be recalled.
Is she the only one?
Legally, when you recall the premier, it then means that the whole active would be non-existing. So if this decision affects the premier, the new incumbent will then have to constitute his or her own cabinet. That's the implication of the decision.
What about the mayor of the Mangaung Metro? Because there's also suggestions that he's also going to be recalled.
The decision about the mayor of Mangaung was taken a long time ago.
Yes.
Like I've indicated, we are just to process the decision so that if the implementation is effected, that will be on the basis of going through the processes that would have been undertaken by the organization.
Mr. Motsoeneng, let's talk then about, the reasons. I know you say that you were looking into issues of service delivery, and even hearing, what you said when we were speaking, that, the party in the province really wants to be serious about the issues of service delivery. Let's start with the fact that, did you find that the premier was not delivering on her mandate to deliver the services? Is that the reason why this decision was reached?
No, it is not about the performance of the premier. It is about the performance of the entirety of the collective. And as a result, we have made it possible that in terms of our own analysis on the performance that we wanted to strengthen the whole of our government led in the province would then have to effect those changes so that we can be able to expedite service delivery in terms of the expectation from our own community members.
Let's talk then about your analysis. What did you find?
There are a lot of issues that were considered by the Provincial Executive Committee, and I wanted to solicit your indulgence.
Yes.
We will be having those decisions ventilated in the media when we have a proper press briefing after consultation with National Office.
Okay, I do understand that. But let's then talk about, the fact that service delivery is a critical point that even the Secretary General of the ANC talked about even yesterday in KwaZulu-Natal, saying that all the deployees must focus on this because the delivery of services is critical. There are some who seem to think that if the Premier is no longer continuing in her position as Premier, there might be a disruption to service delivery. How do you respond to those?
There wouldn't be any disruption of service delivery because it is not about individuals. It's about the institution. So that institution will still be intact because we don't want it to impact negatively on the delivery of services. And as I've indicated, this is about the institution. And part of our improvement on the performance of the institution doesn't depend on individuals.
I know that you say that, decisions are still, going to be announced, pending, of course, when you're done with the processes of the ANC internally. But I can't help but ask you this. Did the PSC give a name or recommend a name of who needs to take over from the current Premier?
There were 3 names that were submitted, and those names still has to be processed by a national office, and up until that is undertaken by national office, will then be able to give a detailed account of that decision.
So you can't share the names with us?
Not now.
All right. When one of the things that, has been very clear with a province like the Free State is that service delivery, has ground to a halt. And a number of people, today, speaking to our reporter, Aphumelele, and they were saying that for them, the tenure has been less than impressive, and they're feeling that they've been failed when it comes to service delivery. And some of them are even expressing, just doubt that even those who are coming in will be able to do the work that is required to restore some of the cities, some of the areas there to, their former glory. What do you say to someone tonight who's watching from the Free State and is listening to our conversation right now, but really wants some reassurance that service delivery will be a priority and it won't be factional battles?
You would appreciate the fact that the theme that was adopted by National Conference and the January 8th Amendment that delivered the President in Mangaung was about decisively intervene in terms of service delivery for the benefit of people. Taking up that matter to an extent that we wanted to hit that core. So in our communities judge the performance of ANC, it will be on the basis of the commitment that we have made in terms of provision of basic services in the main that are up to standard. And that is why we are saying, let's improve on what we are supposed to be doing, taking cue from the performance of our own provincial government that was exhibited in a number of Auditor General's reports to an extent that some of the deficiencies which have been identified can be intervened, and ultimately out of that proper analysis that was made by the Provincial Executive Committee, we are hopeful that we will turn the corner and rapidly improve what we are supposed to be doing.
So, because, over the weekend when the stories were doing the rounds that the Premier could be recalled, and when we spoke to her, of course, not on air, but she was saying that she's still waiting to be informed about the decisions that would have been taken by the provincial structure, and she didn't know, whether or not there is truth to the fact that she will be recalled. Are you envisioning bad blood, and would you say that this has been handled correctly?
No, the truth is we had a cordial interaction with the Premier, and the reconfiguration of government is not a target approach to an individual, like I've indicated. We are about to improve the performance of the institution. And as a result, you must appreciate the fact that the ANC is a whole-bound organization. That is why we are saying all these matters will be properly processed up until the final decision is taken.
So, just as a final question then, very briefly, if you're saying that you are improving, and I know that you were saying it's not about performance earlier on, but if you say that it's about improving, then it means there was somewhere where she was failing.
We are taking this decision informed by a solid foundation that was laid by the Premier and the team. And as a result, we are saying we can be able to accelerate what the Premier has started. Good work, she has done a lot of good things, and as a result, we are appreciating the work that she has done. But in terms of acceleration on all the things that she has done, that's what informed part of the rationale behind the decision that was taken by the provincial executive.
All right. Mr. Motsoeneng, thank you so much for your time. Let's then wait for that briefing that you say will also provide a lot more detail on this. That was the ANC Free State Provincial Secretary, Polediso Motsoeneng.